أهلا ومرحبا بكم. Welcome to lesson number 13 where we're gonna learn the final two letters of the Arabic alphabet. First, حرف الصاد صاد ص ص. It's like an S sound except you try to kind of whistle. ص ص. So ص, we're gonna use the number 9 to represent that sound phonetically. We're gonna write the صاد like so. First we go backward with a curve like this, then a straight line like this, followed by this little thing we call the tooth of the صاد, سن الصاد. So this thing is essential. Then we go downward and draw a half a circle facing upward like this. So this is صاد صاد ص صاد. Okay, it's a connecting letter, so at the end of the word we write it like we just learned, like this, and at the end after a connecting letter it looks like this. We just connect it from the front, and then in the beginning we start the same way. We make sure we draw the tooth of the صاد that we explained earlier, and then go straight forward. But that tooth is very important. You can't have a صاد without the tooth. In the middle, it's just like in the beginning, except you connect it from the front, like so. So that's صاد صاد. So a few words. صاد with a fatha is ص ص. A dal followed by a ya without a modifier, which makes it a long vowel, is d d, and then a qaf q. That makes صديق صديق صديق, which means a friend. صديق صديق. Okay, ba with a fatha is ba. A صاد with a fatha is ص, and then a lam l, that makes بصل بصل, which means onion. بصل بصل. Okay, a ra with a fatha is ra. قاف with a sukoon is q, and then a صاد s. That makes رقص رقص, which means dancing. رقص رقص. Our final letter is حرف الضاد ضاد. This sound is unique to Arabic, so much so that they call Arabic the language of ضاد, لغة الضاد, ض ض. And I don't know how to describe it, but it's a very soft letter. It's not quite a D, but you try to say a D while sticking your tongue to the ceiling of your mouth. D, 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 instead of d, d, d. So just keep your tongue up. D, d. So you write it exactly like you write a صاد. Exactly. We just add a dot on top. ضاد ضاد. Remember, we have the letter ذال, دال, ضاء, and now ضاد ضاد ض ض. It's unlike ضاء ض. It's ض ض, much softer. In a ضاء you kind of stick your tongue out, while in a ضاد you keep your tongue inside your mouth and stuck to the ceiling of it. Now a dal is again different. A dal you do touch your teeth. In a ضاد not so much. ضاد ضاد. And a dal also is kind of similar. Now these four sounds are very close to each other, and sadly I would say 85 to 90% of native Arabic speakers don't make the distinction between these four sounds, which makes your life so much harder when you try to understand what they actually mean. A sign of a good Arabic speaker is someone who is able to make this distinction. That's what we call Arabi, someone who can actually make the distinction between these tough sounds, the dad, the dha's, the dal, and the dal. So just practice. It's not that it's hard, it's not actually. You just need to practice and pay attention. And with practice, you'll definitely get a hang of it. So, again, it's a connecting letter. We write it exactly like a sad. That's in the end of the word. And you just add the dot on top. And if it's in the end after a connecting letter, you just connect it from the front like so. Dad. In the beginning, we start like this. And we definitely draw the tooth, both the tooth of the dad in this case, and add the dot. And finally in the middle, we connect it from the front. And then we keep going. Add the dot. We have the dad. D. New words. Dad with a fatha is d. Ya with a sukoon is a Y sound. Y. And then a fa. F. That makes ضيف. ضيف, which means guest. ضيف. ضيف. If you notice, dad is actually a very soft letter, very delicate, and if you are able to pronounce it correctly, you're gonna take your Arabic speaking to a whole new level. ضيف. Kha with a dhamma is khu. Dad followed by an alif without a modifier makes it a long vowel, so that's da, da, and finally ara, r. That makes khudar, khudar, vegetables, khudar. Alif with a hamza and a fatha is a. Ara with a sukoon is r. And finally a dad, d. And that makes ard, ard, which means earth. Now some scholars think that the word earth originated from the word ard, and some scholars think it's the other way around. It doesn't matter who's right, but they do sound related. Ard and earth. Okay, so congratulations, you've learned all 28 letters of the alphabet. Let's recap them, and let's put them in order. Alif, Ba, Ta, Tha, Jim, Ha, Kha, Dal, Dhal, Ra, Zay, Sin, Shin, Sad, ضاد طاء ظاء عين غين ثاء قاف كاف لام ميم نون هاء واو ياء. So these 28 letters we learned, they make up the Arabic alphabet. We call them حروف الهجاء. Now, this order that you see them in is the order that's universally used now, even though it's quite recent. This order was only adopted 60 or 70 years ago by grouping letters that looked alike. So ba, ta, tha are after each other, jim, ha, kha, dal, dhal, ra, zain, sin, shin, sad, dad, etc. Now, the original order is way more classic and it's very seldom used today. The original looks like this, and usually they memorize it by making up words. أبجد هوز حطي كلم سعفص قرشة ثخذ ضضب. Now, if you notice, this original order is very similar to the Latin and Greek order. So in Greek you have alpha, beta, gamma, delta. In Arabic you have alif, ba, jim, dal. You even see it in the English alphabet, A, B, C, D. And I see in many languages sounds like a J, like in Italian. So Alif, Ba, Jim, Dal. You also notice another sequence that is common. See Kaf, Lam, Mim, Noon. In English, K, L, M, N. So there is some sort of mixed origin. Now, Arabic scholars claim that the Greeks took the order from the Arabs. Greek scholars claim the opposite. It doesn't matter who's right and who's wrong. It's just fun to notice the commonalities between languages that were thought so different from each other. Now, the current order, the one that we use now, we call it the Alif Ba'iyya. This old order that's not used anymore is called the Abjadiyya. So summarizing, we learned the last two letters, Sad and Dad. They're both connecting letters. We learned 6 new words, Sadiq, Basal, Raqs, Daif, Khudar, and Ard. See you in lesson number 14. If you like the tune played in the background of this lesson, it's a song by Kulthum called Darat al-Ayyam, composed by Muhammad Abdul Wahhab. See you soon.